you've noticed her. Maybe you were her. The woman who slowly, quietly, deliberately removed herself from every connection she once had. No dramatic exit, no loud goodbye. Just silence, and everyone wondered why. They called her cold, they called her distant, they said she changed. But the truth is far deeper than anyone realizes. And today you're going to understand what nobody else could see. If you've ever cut people off, or if you've watched someone do it, what you're about to hear will explain everything. The real psychology behind it, the hidden reasons, the truth that lives beneath the silence. And if something inside you already recognizes this pattern, if your chest feels tight or your breath shifts as you read these words, that's not coincidence. That's recognition. Your soul already knows this story because you've lived it. Stay with me, because what comes next will reveal 7 psychological truths about women who cut everyone off. And the 5th one, the one nobody talks about, is the reason most women never come back once they leave. If you feel something stirring inside you right now, type "I understand" in the comments. Not for me, but for yourself. 'Cause what follows will make sense of years of confusion, pain, and transformation.
If these quiet emotional threads resonate with you, please subscribe to my channel Psyche Threads for more video every day. Thank you for being here. Let's begin.
1. She stopped recognizing herself in her relationships. There's a quiet moment when a woman looks at her life, the people around her, the conversations she's having, and realizes, this isn't me anymore. She no longer feels, sounds, or thinks like herself. She's been wearing a mask for so long she forgot it was there. Every relationship came with an unspoken contract. Play the role that keeps everyone comfortable. The reliable helper, the strong listener, the one who never complains or falls apart. For years she honored that contract perfectly. But one day the truth hit. The person everyone loved wasn't really her. It was a survival version built to fit in and be accepted. The more she performed, the further. She drifted from her true self. Being around certain people became exhausting, not because they were bad, but because it forced her to be someone she no longer wanted to be. This realization didn't bring anger. It brought clarity. If she stayed, she would lose herself completely. So she pulled away, not from hatred or ego, but from self-preservation. She wasn't cutting people off to hurt them. He was cutting them off to save herself. Most people misread this as coldness or revenge. But for women who reach this point, it's about identity, reclaiming the authentic self buried under years of expectations and performances. Once that mask comes off, there's no putting it back on. The woman underneath is someone most people never truly knew. If you've ever felt none of this feels like me and more, you know what's next. She realized most connections were transactional. For years, she was the one everyone turned to. She answered late-night calls, gave endless advice, listened to the same problems repeatedly, celebrated their wins and supported their struggles. She was reliable, present, consistent, a true giver who found meaning in helping others, without expecting anything back. Then she started noticing the patterns. The people who leaned on her vanished when she needed support. Conversations always revolved around their lives, their drama. When she shared her own struggles, the energy shifted. Discomfort, surface responses, quick subject changes. She saw the truth. Most relationships weren't real connections, they were transactions. People kept her around because she was useful. The emotional support, the problem solver, the unpaid therapist. The moment she stopped being endlessly available, no one asked if she was okay. Instead, they called her selfish, accused her of changing. That confirmed it all. Real relationships survive boundaries and seasons of imbalance. Transactional ones collapse the second the giving stops. This awakening hurts deeply, realizing many people didn't love her. They loved what she did for them. So she cuts them off, not from hatred but acceptance. Some people were never meant to stay. Loyalty and reciprocity are rare. Protecting her energy matters more than holding onto one-sided bonds. And beneath this, something deeper unfolds. She's letting go of the version of herself that enabled these dynamics. She stopped needing external validation. For years, her worth was tied to others' opinions. She craved approval, recognition, validation. She shaped decisions around what people would think, say, or how they'd react. She lived in constant people-pleasing, not from weakness, but from believing goodness would earn the love and respect she needed. Then the system broke. Slowly or suddenly, she realized, no amount of external validation fills an internal void. The people she bent over backwards for still criticized her. Those she sacrificed for still left. The ones she tried hardest to please were never satisfied. Seeking approval was an endless trap. So she stopped explaining herself, stopped defending choices, stopped begging people to understand her need for space or change. People who truly care respect boundaries without explanation. Those who don't will twist words anyway. This shift was liberation. She stepped into her own authority, living by her values, truth, and inner knowing. Naturally, she distanced from those who only valued her when she sought their approval. It wasn't arrogance, it was freedom. Her worth became inherent, not measured by likes, friends, or popularity. Now unshakable, she's no longer desperate for connection, afraid of solitude, or willing to trade peace for others' comfort. People call her cold or changed, but she's simply no longer available for relationships that require abandoning herself. And this leads to the next profound truth, the painful pattern that made isolation feel necessary. She was betrayed by people she trusted most. This is the silent wound most women carry, the betrayal that strikes when they're most vulnerable, from someone close, someone loved, someone they would have protected with their life. A best friend spreading secrets, a partner cheating after she gave everything, family turning away when she needed them most, a sister choosing sides against her, someone she mentored using her trust for gain. The details vary, but the impact is the same, a deep cut that rewires everything. It doesn't just hurt, it changes her. How she sees people, how she connects, how she trusts. Once stabbed in the back by someone she'd take a bullet for, caution turns into fierce selectivity. She stops giving everyone access, stops assuming good intentions, stops believing loyalty is common, because she learned the hard way. It's rare. That's why women who cut everyone off seem guarded or distant. It's not lack of desire for connection. It's self-protection after being burned too badly to risk it carelessly again. Trust becomes earned, not given. The cost of trusting wrong is too high. She withdraws, builds walls, creates distance, not because she's broke, but to safeguard what remains. Those who judge her as changed or closed off don't see the repeated disappointments, the exhausting letdowns from people who claim to care. But this pain isn't the end. It's the start of transformation, faced with human darkness, selfishness, shallowness, disloyalty. She chooses bitterness forever, or using the pain to grow more discerning, intentional, aligned with her true self. Most choose growth. They rebuild differently. And that leads to the fifth truth, the one that explains why they never returned to who they were. She chose solitude over fake connection. This is the defining threshold, the difference between women who cut people off temporarily and those who do it permanently. It's the profound realization that being alone is far better than being surrounded by people who don't truly see, hear, or value you. It's choosing peace over popularity, depth over distraction, authenticity over forced acceptance. Most people dread solitude. They cling to draining friendships, toxic relationships, and shallow connections just to escape the discomfort of being alone. But women who reach this point have crossed an invisible line. They've sat in the silence long enough to discover it isn't empty. It's rich with clarity, truth, and the inner voice they'd silenced for years while pleasing others. In solitude, she rediscovers her authentic self, the thoughts she truly thinks, the values she genuinely holds, the dreams she actually wants to chase. No performance, no pretending, no adjusting to fit someone else's mold. Once that connection to self is restored, fake relationships feel suffocating. People misread her isolation as loneliness, depression, or brokenness. But she's recalibrating, healing, building a relationship with herself stronger than any external one. Solitude teaches self-reliance. It proves her own company is enough. It ends the search for completion in others. It reveals the vital difference. Loneliness is painful disconnection. Aloneness is powerful self-sufficiency. With that distinction, she stops settling out of need and starts choosing connections out of genuine desire. She no longer tolerates surface-level ties, convenience-driven friendships, or relationships that demand she dim her light or silence her truth. Her circle shrinks dramatically, but what remains is unshakable, built on truth, respect, and mutual growth, not obligation or codependency. Real connection is rare and worth far more than 100 shallow ones. This transformation shifts everything, leading to the sixth truth. She stopped carrying other people's problems. For most of her life, she was the emotional anchor, the problem solver, the listener, the friend who always knew what to say. She carried that role proudly, believing helping others was noble, that being needed meant being valued, that fixing everyone made her important, but the weight grew unbearable. She realized she was carrying burdens never meant for her, absorbing stress that wasn't hers, exhausting herself trying to fix people who didn't want change, giving ignored advice, offering rejected solutions. All the while her own pain, struggles, and needs were pushed aside, no space for them. She grasped a crucial truth. You cannot save those who don't want saving. You cannot heal people addicted to their wounds. You cannot fix those who benefit from staying broken. Trying only leaves you drained, resentful, empty. So she stopped answering every crisis call, stopped unsolicited advice, stopped rescuing people from choices they kept making. She set boundaries others found offensive, decided her peace mattered more than being everyone's therapist, her energy more than being their savior, her life more than their solution. People reacted with anger, called her selfish, uncaring, accused her of abandonment. They didn't see she'd been abandoning herself for years to stay available. Finally, she chose herself. Not cruelty, but survival. This shift is essential for reclaiming life. You cannot build meaning while managing others' chaos, cannot grow stuck in their drama, cannot heal while healing everyone else. Cutting people off isn't always about them. Often it's about escaping the destructive role you played. When that role threatens your existence, stepping away is the only path. This leads to the final truth, the one tying everything together, explaining why this painful journey was necessary for her evolution. She's becoming the woman she was always meant to be. Everything, every sign, pattern, painful realization leads to this moment. She finally understands cutting everyone off wasn't running away from people. It was running toward herself, toward the authentic version buried under years of expectations, performances, and people-pleasing. The self who waited patiently for her to remember who she truly is. In the silence of solitude, something extraordinary happens. She sheds every false identity, every mask built to please others. What remains is her core truth, her real values, purpose, authentic self. This shedding is painful. It demands letting go of people tied to the old version, those who expect her to stay the same, who feel unsettled by her growth because it mirrors their stagnation. But growth requires loss. You cannot become who you're meant to be while clinging to who you were. You cannot evolve surrounded by those who need you small. So she rebuilds differently, from truth, not performance, self-respect, not external validation, intention, not obligation. She chooses relationships carefully, guards her inner archive fiercely, speaks her truth unapologetically, lives by her own values, not society's. The woman who emerges is unrecognizable to the past, calmer yet more powerful, quieter yet more confident, isolated yet profoundly free. She no longer needs crowds for worth, approval for validity, constant connection for fulfillment. She found everything within herself. This is the psychology of women who cut everyone off. It's not coldness, it's clarity, not cruelty. It's self-preservation, not running away. It's running toward the life she was always meant to live. If you've cut people off, hear this. You're not broken, not damaged, not cold. You're awakening. That awakening demands letting go of everything and everyone, misaligned with your truth. The people meant for you will understand. They'll respect your boundaries, honor your journey. The ones who don't, they were never yours. If you're trying to understand someone who cut you off, it was never about you. It was about her reclaiming herself. Sometimes the most loving act is walking away from what no longer serves growth. Place your hand over your heart. Breathe deep. If these words stirred something in your chest, bones, soul, you're exactly where you need to be. Your journey isn't ending. It's transforming. Quietly say, I choose myself. I honor my journey. I trust my path. Say it again. Let it sink in. Make it your truth. If you've lived this, if you've been her, or are becoming her, type I choose myself in the comments. Not for validation. As a declaration to your you're done living for others, ready to live for yourself. Your transformation isn't tragedy. It's awakening. The world needs women brave enough to choose themselves. Even when called selfish, you're not alone. Your story is just beginning.
Please subscribe to my channel Psyche Threads for more video every day. Thank you for being here.